Class 7th Geography. Chapter number 6 Weather and Climate.
Hello children, welcome back to your social science class. Today I am going to start a new chapter in geography, chapter 6 Weather and Climate. So you all can open your book on page number 137. Weather and climate, they directly affect our physical environment and biological environment. These two important factors have a great impact on the economic activities of the people, on the food habits of the people, and the lifestyle of the people. Humans were always interested in weather. For many years, they observed weather, they tried to predict the outcome, what changes takes place in the environment and their effect on their life. But their knowledge about the weather was not systematic. We use a variety of terms when we are talking about the weather conditions. Like sometimes we say it is hot, sometimes we say it is very cold, sometimes we say it is very sunny, cloudy, windy, rainy and sultry. All these terms, they are explaining the atmospheric condition in relation to the temperature, air pressure, movement of air and humidity. And all these are the important elements of weather. Now let's study what is weather. Weather is the state of the atmosphere at a specific time at any one place. It combines temperature, pressure, winds and the rainfall conditions of a small area for a small period of time. The term weather should not be confused with another word which is called climate. The time period over which the weather conditions are measured, they can be as small as 1 day. Reason is that weather can change very quickly and it is not permanent in nature. Therefore, we can also describe weather that it is dynamic and we study it over a small area. Next heading is climate. Now what is climate? Climate is the average weather condition at a specific place over a longer period of time. It also includes the same elements like temperature, pressure, wind, humidity, rainfall into consideration. But there is some difference between a climate and weather. Climate doesn't change significantly. It's calculated over a longer period for 30 to 40 years. Climate represents the average weather condition of a particular area over a long period of time. The conditions of different elements of weather keep changing and this change can take place at any time. So, a change in weather is a continuous phenomenon, whereas climate of a place remains more or less the same year after year. We can take an example like the people who are living in Delhi. They have adopted a lifestyle which is suitable to a very extreme type of climate. Means the summers are very hot and the winters are very cold. So what do people do? They use cotton, which is a popular fabric for clothing in Delhi. Same thing happens around different countries of the world. People adopt their lifestyle, clothing, food, economic activity according to the climate. Now moving ahead, the next topic is atmospheric temperature. The sun is the main source of heat on earth and it radiates heat and light energy. So we call this energy and heat which is received from the sun as solar radiation. However, only a small part, that is about 1 in 200 million of the solar radiation is able to reach the Earth's surface. And the amount of solar radiation which our Earth receives is known as insolation. The word insolation comes from three words. First, incoming, from which the word or the alphabets IN has been taken. Second word is solar, from which SOLA has been taken, and radiation, from which TION has been taken, and combining, which makes the word insolation. The amount of insolation which is received on the surface of the earth also varies from place to place. This means all the part of the earth doesn't get the same amount of heat. The amount of heat is greatest near the equator, and it starts decreasing as we move away from the equator. Our Earth's surface absorbs maximum radiation from the sun during the daytime, and at night the heat which is absorbed during the day is radiated back, and this is known as terrestrial radiation. Next topic is measurement of temperature. Now, how the temperature is measured? An instrument called thermometer is used to measure the temperature. Commonly, there are two scales which are used to measure the temperature to the thermometer are Fahrenheit and Celsius. In Fahrenheit scale, the melting point of ice is 32 degree Fahrenheit and the boiling point of the water is 212 degree Fahrenheit. Whereas in the case of the Celsius scale, it's 0 degree for ice and 100 degrees Celsius for the boiling water. Next topic is heating of the atmosphere. Our atmosphere of the earth doesn't get heated directly by the rays of the sun. The atmosphere absorbs very little of the solar radiation and it passes through the layers of the air. Solar radiation heats the ground firstly, and from the ground surface heat is further transferred to the atmosphere through the different processes, which are conduction, convection, radiation. Next is distribution of temperature. As I have already told you, the temperature is not same everywhere and it is not same every time. It changes from time to time. The temperature of any place depends upon the amount of heat which is received from the rays of the sun at that place. So this means the amount of insolation changes as one moves away from the equator towards the poles. And based on this, our Earth's surface has been divided into the three different zones. What are those? First is the torrid zone, second is the temperate zone, and the third is the frigid zone. Torrid zone is the layer which lies between the two tropics, that is the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degree south respectively. This part is the hottest part of the earth, and that is the reason that it has been given the name torrid, which means hot. Here the rays of the sun, they fall vertically. The rays, they pass through a small part of the atmosphere and the heat is very strong and concentrated. Second layer is temperate zone. The north temperate zone lies between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle, whereas the south temperate zone lies between the Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle. These zones receive less radiation as compared to torrid zone. So the zones have mild temperature. Means they are neither very cold nor very hot. Third and the last zone is frigid zone. frigid zone lies between Arctic Circle and the North Pole, and the South Frigid Zone lies between Antarctic Circle and South Pole. This area is also called frigid or cold because here the slanting rays of the sun fall and they spread over a large area and they have to travel a long distance in the atmosphere. These are the very cold part on the surface of the earth. The rays of the sun in these parts are very slanting and they don't bring much heat even if there are no longer period of daylight. So in the polar region, it remains frozen for most of the parts of the year. So with this, I conclude the first video. I hope you all have understood. Thank you.